Southwest New Madrid, you are under a tornado warning, but that's for the previous cell. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, but I'm seeing on radar strong signs of rotation, and just behind that rotation, very strong signs of strong gusty winds. This is what we call in the meteorological world a rear flank downdraft, and that's a clear sign that we may begin to see something spin up just to the south of New Madrid. So if you are in south central New Madrid County, even though officially it's a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to get into your safe spot right now. I am imagining that there's probably going to be a new tornado warning issued for this storm shortly. Again, right now, as you can see, this storm is just under a yellow polygon, meaning it's for a severe thunderstorm. The tornado warning is for this storm out here that has already moved out of the New Madrid area, but this storm right here is showing strong signs of rotation right now. And we can also look inside to see if we see any types of debris being picked up. So far we don't, but we see strong signs of hail, and some of these storms have already produced reports of golf ball size hail. This storm right here that moved through the Hickman and Fulton County areas was reporting some golf ball size hail. I imagine we're going to see the same scenario with this right here, just south and east of Malden. A pretty significant hail core is being picked up right now. This is going to go over towards, I think that's 412. It's just south of New Madrid, that showing signs again of very strong signs of large hail, and then very strong couplet that's developing. Hopefully this is undercut by the cold front, because this is a very sharp Arctic front, and if the storms form behind the front, they're going to have a very hard time to produce tornadoes. But if this is still out ahead of the front, then we could see something spin up. Brian, I know you were just chatting with the Weather Service. What did you get? Any information?
Haven't seen a whole lot more information. We have seen a lot of hail reports come down, occasionally a report of some very strong wind. But as of right now, still tracking a line of thunderstorms becoming more numerous and moving into western Kentucky and Tennessee. Yes, Brian?
Report of golf ball sized or larger hail from Portageville.
Okay, so this is right there in the middle of all this mess, right there in the middle of that thunderstorm. We are getting reports of heavy rain, large hail, and the possible tornado. We're seeing some very strong rotation, but there is no tornado warning in effect for western New Madrid County now. It's time now, 3:30. The tornado warning that was in effect for Lake Fulton County, Kentucky, and Tennessee, that has since expired. We're going to continue watching these thunderstorms very closely, and we're tracking that threat for some very strong rotation now, moving into western New Madrid County, Missouri. So let's zoom in very quickly. Let's put the current track on there. Yeah, we're still seeing a little southern appendage, a little addition of this thunderstorm on the south side. Now, again, there's no tornado warning in this severe thunderstorm warning, Grant, goes through 3:45. Am I correct there?
Yes, 3:45 right now is the latest from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But when I look at the couplet that's forming on there, it's very strong signs of rotation that's trying to develop. So I mean, folks in New Madrid County, you need to take this storm, pretend you got a tornado warning, folks. Head to your safe spot, because this is rotating, and it could produce something at any time, what we're seeing right now on radar.
I'll tell you what, let's put a future track on this thunderstorm. It's moving to the northeast at 45. Is that, I haven't had a chance. 50 miles an hour? Okay, so it's moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. This area of rotation that we're tracking, you see that bright area of purple and blue and a bright area of green. This is what Grant, Brian, and I are talking about here. Very strong rotation right there, moving in southwestern New Madrid County. So the city of New Madrid, within 354, possible tornado will be over your location. So let's go through the list one more time. Marston, 347. So you have about less than 15 minutes to be in your safe spot before this area that we're tracking with possibly strong rotation is in your neighborhood. New Madrid, 354. This is where you guys are. This is where the thunderstorm is. It's going to be moving right towards your neck of the woods, right into your city with very strong rotation. East Prairie, 412. You were just a little bit farther to the north and east than New Madrid, so you'll be on the northern extent of this thunderstorm, but you're still not out of the woods. woods. Again, no official tornado warning. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of New Madrid County until 3:45. But we see something on the radar that we feel strongly we need to stay with this thunderstorm. Again, I'm fortunate enough to have meteorologist Grant Date and Brian Allworth with me this afternoon. We are continuing to track very strong rotation on the southern side of New Madrid County, heading straight toward New Madrid. So if you're watching, please be careful. Be in your safe spot there in New Madrid, also in Marston. So Marston, New Madrid, East Prairie, be in your safe spot. We are watching an area of very strong rotation move into your neighborhood. So Grant, what do you have for me?
Well, I continue to look at that storm southeast of Malden. This is just to the southwest of New Madrid. We're getting what we kind of call a donut hole. You see the rain is wrapping all the way around right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so we can really see the effects, because I know we're looking at a monitor. So you kind of see how this rain is wrapping all the way around, kind of see that void there. Now watch when I change this to the velocity image. Right there is where the couplet is. So this storm is spinning very rapidly right here. This is just to the south of 62 and to the east of 153 in the New Madrid area. And again, New Madrid's up here, I-55 right here. This is moving off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So you do have time to get to your safe spot. Again, officially it's a severe thunderstorm warning for strong gusty winds. But folks, with this type of rotation that we're seeing on radar, we want to go ahead and play safe. We're going to stay with this even though there's not an official tornado warning, because in our eyes, this looks like it could be damaging and probably cause issues to property and the potential dangerous to you. So we want to keep everybody in the path of this storm up to date. So if you are in New Madrid County, you need to be, especially the southern part, south of 62 right now, you definitely need to be in your safe spot. A basement, if you have one. If you don't have a basement, we want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Something else we can also do is check in here for a little bit of debris, and we're starting to see light debris shading. This is probably more than likely large hail because it's on the lower end of the debris signal. So we're probably seeing golf ball size hail with this storm as well as it moves off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. But again, as we take a close look at that, that is a telltale sign of a very strong rotating thunderstorm, especially right here. It's just wrapping around itself. The rotation is pulling the rain and the hail all the way around the center. This also says that this would probably be rain wrapped if we do have a tornado developing, so you would not be able to see it. Our one hope is that this is just north of the Arctic front, and if that's the case, then this probably will not produce a tornado. But in our eyes, it's pretty scary looking, at least on the velocity data, so we want to stay with it. Brian?
Yeah, thank you so much, Grant. Especially areas in southern New Madrid County need to be in your safe spot right now. Grant, you were talking about Highway South. South of Highway 62, this is the area that's under the gun. Very quickly, let's have a reset. We'll talk about some very warm and humid weather in Kentucky, Tennessee, and New Madrid County that's it's producing all this thunderstorm activity. Before our northern counties, it's starting to get very cold. So we have that cold front plowing into this moist and very warm air, and it's going to continue to produce some very heavy rain and possibly some large hail and an isolated spin-up tornado. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Crittenden County. As we can, you know what, let's go ahead and zoom in on that. We've been talking about New Madrid County, the possibility for some strong rotation and a possible tornado. Let's zoom in here and let's talk about parts of western Kentucky here. Still a very strong thunderstorm. I believe this particular cell has had a history of producing golf ball sized hail in the Paducah area all the way back toward northern Graves County. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Let me put the current track on there. The current scan showing a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Crittenden County. And let's put a query tool on that. We'll talk about, let's see, that's the rainfall rate there. Let's talk about the severe thunderstorm. All right, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4 o'clock for Crittenden and Livingston County, Kentucky. This is the cell that we're talking about right here. It has had a history of producing some very large hail. Golf ball sized hail has been reported in parts of McCracken County. It is going to continue moving off to the northeast at about 35 to 45 miles an hour. So we also see a little bit of an appendage there as well. So let's zoom in a little bit farther. Let's have a look at that wind within the thunderstorm. Not seeing as strong a sign of rotation as we've seen with New Madrid County, but if you put it back on the reflectivity, you can see a little bit of an inflow notch. So here's the area with the thunderstorm activity, the possible large hail that's been produced over the past few minutes. But on this southern branch, we're going to have to continue to watch that very closely, because here is your rear flank downdraft, and that's coming around. So we'll have to watch that little notch right there very closely as it comes along 902, and it continues to move off to the north and east. So let's zoom out one more time. Let's talk about the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for south and western New Madrid County until 3:45. So we have officially another 7 minutes on that severe thunderstorm warning. We'll zoom in on that one right now as well. We've had a lot of reports of large hail, and I do believe we actually start to have pictures coming in, Grant. Am I right? Let's see some of that.
Yeah, we've got some pictures of very large hail. Again, this is larger than golf ball. I'm not quite sure exactly where this came from. This is the Portageville storm. So this came from Portageville. Something else I want to show you real quick. If you could put Max 1 behind me, analyzing right now, here is the location of the front. And it's very likely now, in my eyes, that that storm that is spinning very rapidly into Madrid County is behind the front. And if that's the case, then that shuts off the tornado threat. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay with this for about 2 or 3 more minutes. Let's make sure everybody is safe in the path of the storm, but it looks as though this is an elevated thunderstorm, which means hail and gusty winds, but the life-threatening tornado threat with that storm that we were very concerned with appears limited right now, because I think, Brian, that it is behind the front, even though it is showing very strong signs of producing a tornado. If it is undercut by that Arctic air, it's not going to be able to, because it will not be able to get surface air into the storm.
Right, so it's not reaching all the way to the ground, so that is certainly good news. We continue to track some very large hail, the potential for some very large hail in parts of New Madrid County, as well as a threat for some tornadic rotation there. So let's put the current scan on the reflectivity here. The radar, not seeing quite so much of a hook echo, but we still see some of that donut hole that we've been talking about for the past few minutes. So New Madrid County, very strong possible rotation right there in the center part of the county here. So I'm going to zoom in, move a little bit farther to the north, and we're going to be putting a future track on this thunderstorm. We continue to track this severe thunderstorm rolling off to the northeast at 35 to 45 miles an hour. So again, Marston, you have about 9 to 10 minutes to be in your safe spot right now. New Madrid, you have about 15 minutes. It'll be in your neck of the woods. It'll be in New Madrid at 3:59. At 4:19, this thunderstorm with a possible tornado will be moving into East Prairie. So we continue to track very strong rotation, though Grant has been saying it is possibly behind the front, which will be